Internet. Hold on. Dio's grumpy, so he wants to say hi too. Internet. Welcome to Popcorn Chicken. We're here again in the comfort of our homes because reasons. But we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today. We got some cool 80s movies by plural. I mean, one. We're going to say tens of words about the Bad Batch because that exists. And then also we're going to talk about Shogun and maybe some other stuff. So here's Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I'm way too far out. Hold on.
You've been all your gaming you've been doing.
I guess I put a different lens on it, and anyway, whatever. Nobody cares. Hi, Kiwi. We got Kiwi. We got Darth. We got Kiwi.
Who's that guy?
I don't
Who's
know.
that guy? EK. Never heard of him.
Everyone knows.
Everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows. So this is actually, even though we're not in the studio and we were off last week, we haven't been in the studio for a while, but it's because we have news, right? We got some big news.
We
changed. We're changing.
We teased it a little bit on the Monday podcast, which I crashed and got drunk, and then talk shit about Gina Carano and stuff. It was a good time.
Nice. So we are officially, as of next Thursday, we'll be back in studio. I'm pretty sure Elvin will be back, but yeah, we're changing Popcorn Chicken to Thursdays.
Yeah.
So this is our last Wednesday show. Thursdays we'll do a bunch of reminders and stuff next week, but starting next week, April 4th, I think it is, we're gonna go Thursdays at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So yeah.
Trying some new things with days and see if more people are available. But
fits our schedule a little bit better. So tell me a bit about Monday now. So the Monday show, Elvin and Dee are just like figures. So what do you collect figures, Justin?
Occasionally, and by collect I mean Elvin's just like, hey, I accidentally bought 10 of this one. Do you want one? I was like, all right. But no, I collect other things. You can see behind me, I got some Zelda stuff. I got some Star Wars stuff, and but Monday we Dee and I, he went through kind of like what we got, what we watched and stuff, but we mainly talked about and I'm really excited to watch the third episode that just came out today, the new X-Men cartoon, X-Men 97. It's ridiculously good. It's so much fun and just wonderful.
Nice. Yeah, I have to check it out, and maybe we should start talking about it next week. But,
I just saw that the third episode came out today or last night or whatever, and the set, like, because Dee was like, yeah, just watch a couple of the episodes, and I thought it was just a remake, or like, all right, we upped the graphics, here's an HD version, now give us money. And then it was just like, I was so excited that it was a sequel, and they were so good that, like, when the second episode ended, it was like a cliffhanger thing, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch the next one. And then I'm like, what do you mean it's not out yet? So
how many episodes are there, do you know?
I don't know, actually. I think 10, actually.
Right.
And
they drop every Tuesday?
Wednesday. Yeah. So Tuesday night. 10 episodes are to me, my X-Men. Quoted from Cyclops, Magneto. They dropped that a bunch. That was a cool thing too. It was like the episode was called "To Me, My X-Men," and then when Cyclops said it, you're like, oh, okay, that's the title card, cool. And then somebody else says it, and it means something completely different, and you're just like, oh, sick.
Right. Cool. Did you see what was dropped today? This new Spider-Man short. Did you watch that?
I didn't. I saw a bit about it. Yeah, it was like a short film.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a little short video about it the next day or so. But yeah, and I didn't know anything about it either until yesterday. Anyone in the chat see it called what was it called? Spider. Well, it's the same. I mean, it takes place between Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. It's just like a
Oh, cool.
7 minute short, but it has to do with mental health. So they're trying to there's
Cool.
a fundraiser for it as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's a good little short. Obviously, the animation's there. It's really just about
Mhm.
Miles Morales and what he's going through as anxiety and everything on his mind. But anyways, if you haven't seen it, check it out. But we're gonna drop a little short
Cool.
on it very soon. So I finished. You want to touch on Bad Batch first? I haven't caught up
Sure.
to it, but go ahead.
This episode was kind of the one everyone was excited for,
Okay.
or the start of which, because Asajj Ventress, who was um, Count Dooku's apprentice and was a super cool character throughout the Clone Wars animation. She apparently died in there was a book where her and it was a book about her and Quinlan Voss, who was a Jedi and he partied with Obi-Wan and stuff. And then actually in the Obi-Wan TV show, there was a little Easter egg showing that he survived because his name was scribbled in that like Underground Railroad thing, whatever. But she died in the book, and the book was mostly based on like deleted scenes or an unfinished episode from Clone Wars, I think. But yeah, died in the book, and now they're like, "Oh, she's back," and everyone's like, "Okay." But yeah, it wasn't a standout episode. It was still kind of like meh. Like it's not bad, but it's
Yeah. Considering it's the last season too, like we kind of said that at the beginning when we were talking
mhm.
about it. This is kind of like why we decided to actually take a break, and maybe next week when we're all back together, we can actually start getting into it a bit more because the first 3 episodes are just kind of like meh. So what are they?
Mhm.
What is that they're at now? Is that 6?
Yeah, 8.
8. Wow, they're already at 8.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, because they put out 2
Oh,
episodes
there's
last week.
right, but it is going to 15. Right, there's
Yeah.
15 episodes. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
still the thing that we've both said or have all said is like this shouldn't have been 15. This should have been 8. Like it should like there's so many filler episodes of just like what happened? Nothing cool. What happened?
yeah,
Nothing cool.
yeah,
So,
yeah. They tend to just kind of like, okay, let's take a little side adventure, and let's wrap up that adventure, and then let's come back. And it's
yeah.
like, well, how does that drive the story forward if you're
And they're
just
like,
making
"What?
them?
The who?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's fine.
Anyways, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So
Holy
Shogun.
balls.
Yes, holy balls. You can see from our thumbnail. I believe it's getting better. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy how good this show is, and I know Elvin's loving it as well. But yeah, both these. The last time we spoke, I said that episode 4 was my favorite,
Mhm.
and it's crazy how both these episodes 5 and 6 that kind of morphing them together, but still, it's just like what it is about the show. It's we knew again. I don't really know the whole story of Shogun. I never watched the '80s
Mhm.
series. I don't know the books or anything. But what it does is it's these little scenes they have.
Mhm.
There's going to be big battles. There's going to be gore and stuff like that, and that stuff's all amazing too. But I find like the way they make these little intimate moments between
Yeah.
characters and how they connect them and stuff is really what makes the show amazing for sure.
Yeah. And it's not there's so many opportunities for them to kind of go back onto tropes, and like the story itself isn't like the bullet points of the story isn't impressive or amazing. It's white guy shows up in foreign land, integrates into society, screws up a bunch, and then falls in love with lady. Then there's a infighting, families, culture wars, battle. Like
Yeah,
that's none of this is surprising, but um yeah, it's very much like it's like if The Last Samurai and um Game of Thrones, like it's a good mashup between that kind of thing. Um and especially with all like the politics and stuff, and normally shows that go, okay, we've got 7 different factions and we need a lot of backstory and we got to tell you a lot and it's all going to be in subtitles. Normally that's a tough sell. And Game of Thrones fixed that by just A, not having subtitles, and B, anytime they're like, we got to do 10 minutes of backstory, here's boobs. And then that's like consistently, they would just be like, all right, we got to ramble on for a bit. Let's do it in a whorehouse. All right, there. Now people are paying attention. So, and every character is so enticing, and there's no favorites. There's no like, oh, I don't like this person or this actor or this character. Like everyone's interesting. Everyone's cool. And yes, in this episode, they did say Willow a lot, and I laughed. But again, they were just like, we got to talk about Willow. Let's put boobs in it.
Yeah. You know, again, getting back to these like sort of intimate scenes or these scenes between two or three characters, there's a lot of great reaction shots as well, especially between, you know, because of what's his name, Blackthorn, who still isn't really wanted there by like all the soldiers, right? All like the second in command, the third in command, especially now that, sorry, you know, we won't try to get into spoilers, but you know, we can't help it, so there'll be little spoilers here and there. But the fact that her husband is back now, right? Like we thought he died, and now he's back. So there's like huge tension there between the two of them, because we know the relationship that's going on with her and him. And just I love like I said, like the second in command or the third in command or stuff like that, because they're all like, you know, this guy's a barbarian. Why is he leading the army? Why is he getting why is he getting the night at the friggin' like you said, the brothel or whatever, you know, he's getting all these things. So I love that little tension that they have between these characters.
Yeah. And even like the husband of Mariko, like he's super complex too, because like it's not just like, oh, her husband's an asshole. Okay, there, story done. It's like, no, he has like a hero complex, because she keeps asking him, hey, can I kill myself, please? Like, can I please just die? And he's like, no, I command you to live. So he's like, why isn't this bitch thanking me? Like, she's alive. And so then there's that, and it's like, that's an interesting dynamic. And then I loved the scene where John and the husband are like having dinner together, and he's just like, yo, only girls drink out of small cups. And he's like, all right, show up, let's do this. And they go shot for shot and just play waterfall until he gets
such a typical guy thing. But the amazing thing is there's so much tension in that scene of them just like drinking, you know something's gonna happen, and then he pulls out the bow and arrow, right? It's just like those shots were amazing that they did. And that's what I love that stuff. They've done such a good job of that, things like that. And then just, you know, like I'm saying, these little intimate moments, but then they have like this big massive scene with the earthquake, right? Like you know, it's just they kind of hinted this sort of area had earthquakes. I think it was episode 4, and then we see it here towards the end of episode 5. It's just big massive earthquake where we don't even know how much of the army they've lost.
We saw like in the background the landslide taking out God knows how much of the camp, and that also kind of adds more tension too later on when he's talking, and they're like, oh, you know, we gotta do this, and the leader, I can't remember his name, but he's just like, yo, we just had our army decimated by Earth, and you guys are bitching between each other, like, come on.
Lord
Toranaga or whatever.
Toranaga, yeah. Well, exactly. That's why he's got to keep Blackthorn around too now. Like he's losing leaders and stuff. So yeah. And I'd even like, so now getting into sort of like, again, I always forget when I watch 2 episodes together what happens where, but I like the little backstory of her, right? Like we get her back as a child, and you see that, you know, she was friends with the other one who's now coming into like all the politics and stuff. So and that whole, one of my favorite scenes was definitely in scene 6. So where they're in the brothel, and you know, and the translator's there, and the camera, she goes and stands behind her, between the translation and that shot. So it's like they're talking together, even though she's translating from the other girl. I thought that was just brilliant.
I thought that it was just going to be they regularly subvert my expectations when it comes to like, I know what's going to happen in the scene. It's kind of pretty straightforward. Okay. And like Toranaga is like, yo, you guys good? Like, you've got some shit going on between you. And she's like, no, I just translate. And he's like, I know that's not true, but anyway, bring him to the brothel, and you go with him. So you got to figure this out. And then also, what was it? The girl at the brothel. I can't remember her name, but
it's like Kirki or something.
Kirki? Kiku, I think.
Kiku. Yeah, Kiku.
And just like they're doing such a good job of not over explaining a lot of stuff, like especially with Kiku. She was like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on by just a couple looks and just like seeing their dynamic and being like, okay, you can join if you want. No, okay, well, and then her moving to the side, like you were saying, like camera angles are great, absolutely. Like, I was making fun of the director of photography in the first couple episodes, and I rewatched a bunch last night, and it is weird in the first 3 episodes. It's like there are a lot of weird choices, but I think either they got a new person to do it or they forgot that they were using that lens, and then 4th episode they're like, shit, we got to switch out lenses. Or they only rented it for 3 days and they got the shots and then they brought it back.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, and it's like we know it's building up now. What's this attack that they're calling it? Crimson Sky.
Yeah,
this is the next.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it does.
But then again, we're going back to like Game of Thrones, the Red Wedding. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So the finale is just gonna everyone dying. All right.
It could be. I even like, to talk about the violence and stuff, especially so in episode 6 they had that scene where the two groups meet in the woods, and they didn't show them kill them all, but then they just show them all dead afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's like, they keep playing around with it. You don't have to show everyone get slaughtered and stuff. I just really like the way they do that.
Yeah.
How many episodes do we have left? That's episode 6.
There's 10 episodes, I think.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
So we still got a ways to go here, but you don't know you never read the books, did you? You don't know I was just wondering if it's sticking close to the story or not. If anybody knows, let us know how close it is to the story. But it's crazy how good this show is.
Yeah. And it's on Disney.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, so now they got. Well, right, it's Hulu, but
but it's showing on Disney. But
yeah.
So it doesn't redeem anything, but still.
No.
So what would you give these? Anything else we want to talk about?
I mean, it's FX.
Oh, FX, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's on Disney.
Yes, it is on Disney. What's Kiwi saying here? Worth mentioning that one group has a weapon that causes mass damage. Yeah.
And then in the first couple episodes when they're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do stuff with cannons. Oh cool. And then he's like, actually, you can be accurate. And then they're like, holy shit, you can hit stuff with these. Cool.
Yeah. No, again, even and it's funny. I like his character. He's like, I just want to get out of here. I'd like to leave. Like
every episode, he's just like, am I done? Can I go home? Where's my dudes?
Yeah. But no.
If you direct a new version of Pippi Longstocking, what genre and aesthetic would you go for? Like 40s noir detective, where she becomes a detective and has to solve a murder. And then she teams up with Wendy from Wendy's.
And her Pigtails become lethal weapons.
Yeah.
You can use them. Yeah. So what
Oh
would you
yeah.
give?
I
What would
don't
you give?
think many of them are alive.
Yeah. What would you give these episodes?
I don't know, still like 9.5, whatever. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's been up there the whole time.
um,
I haven't been keeping track, but we've been 8s and 9s the whole way along for
mhm.
sure.
Yeah, I haven't given anything a 10 because I'm waiting for one to blow my mind. But like
Yes.
so far, everything's been super, super rewarding and lots of fun.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll have to see with 4 more episodes to go. But yeah, yeah. It's definitely great stuff. So speaking of great stuff,
Oh,
did you manage to watch the 80s that I asked
I
you to?
did.
Great. So let's get into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, last week Justin chose an 80s movie. So this week I decided to choose an 80s movie. Dreamscape. Let me see if I can pull up the amazing poster, movie poster. There it is. Hang on a second. Yeah, so I'd heard of this movie before.
I don't
Uh,
think I had.
I'd never seen it.
Mhm.
Um, so here's the other thing. Help me out if you can help me out. This is like the template movie poster, right? Like
Yeah.
they've been using this. I don't even know who would have started this, like back in the 70s or 60s, maybe. I don't even know if
Yeah.
anybody knows the
Like
original.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
basically, you have the protagonist and the
Mhm.
damsel in distress. Like you think about it, I mean, Star Wars did it, even though it was his sister, right, Leia.
Yeah.
They even did it for stuff like was it Army of Darkness did it,
Yep.
and even the original Vacation with Chevy Chase. He's
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
same thing with his wife
Yeah,
and
it
stuff.
does look like an Indiana Jones. Like his hair
Yeah,
looks like his hat almost.
I think, and even like if you look at this poster, this kind of looks like Temple of Doom, right? Because of the
Mhm.
face here and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, this is
Well, speaking of
1984. Yep.
indie, so yeah, it's Dennis Quaid. I didn't realize how much he looks and sounds and has the same mannerisms as Harrison Ford. Like
Yeah.
if you close your eyes, you could have just been like, yeah, it's Harrison Ford when he was like 20 or
Yeah.
30 or whatever.
Exactly. So yeah. Anyways, this is Dreamscape. It's from 1984. I don't think it's one of Dennis Quaid's earlier. Well, it's obviously one of his earlier movies, but
Mm.
it's got a lot of. It's actually I enjoyed it. There was
Mhm.
a lot of your typical stuff that we've been talking about, your typical cheesy sort of 80s stuff, but
Yeah, yeah.
um, it's got a great cast. Like
Yeah.
it's got obviously Dennis Quaid. It's got the girl there is Kate Capshaw, which from Temple of Doom.
Yeah. And you got
Later,
Emperor
later,
Ming from um Flash Gordon.
yeah, yeah,
Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow, Christopher Plummer,
Christopher Plummer.
the
You
guy
you
David
got
Pat,
Norm from Cheers.
yeah, that's what I found really interesting. Also, it's like, hey, it's Norm. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even know if I've seen him in anything. Have you ever seen him in anything other than Cheers? I don't know if I have.
He randomly like this type of role, and it was also funny because I think the first time we see him, he's in a bar, and,
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
and
yeah,
he
it's Norm.
yeah, and he gets the guy a beer too. He
Yeah.
buys Dennis Quaid a beer.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
And then we also
Yeah,
have the guy from the Warriors with the bottle.
yeah, yeah.
Warriors.
Or he's the same guy that Arnold holds off in
Mm.
Commando. He
Mm-hmm.
holds him off the cliff and promises, yeah, promise I'll kill you. I can't do the Arnold. Oh, you do the Arnold. I promise to
What was
kill
the
you.
line?
Something about I
Oh
kill
yeah,
you
I
last.
lied.
I lied. Yeah. So, anyways, the premises of this, and it's interesting because it's got like sort of a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a dream
Hmm.
thing, obviously called Dreamscape. But there's even like you can think about the 2010 Inception a little
I
bit
was gonna
for
say this is
Nolan.
like a predecessor to Inception.
Yeah. So Dennis Quaid plays a character who has got what do you call like
he's psychic,
tele-
or like
psychic,
he
telepathic, or
can,
something maybe.
yeah, he can read minds.
Yeah, but I mean, he starts. Where do they start off the movie? And he's like betting on horses, right? So obviously he can
Yeah.
tell like what horses. So therefore he's got like a lot of friends and enemies too. But he
Mm-hmm.
gets recruited by, I guess, someone he knew the guy before, the professor or the scientist, and he gets
Because
recruited
I
to this
guess he's
government.
a doctor too.
Yeah, something
Like,
like that. They don't
yeah.
really mention too much of this sort of
No.
backstory. Oh, you know what I wanted to show you was I found this picture of Dennis Quaid from the movie. Let me share this again before we go any more into the premises. I always thought that when I saw this picture, I was like, oh my God, Dennis Quaid could easily play the Joker. Look at that picture.
Yeah.
Like
It's
he's
very
got this,
what's the 80s Batman? What's his name?
Jack
Nicholson, yeah.
Jack Nicholson, yeah, for sure. So yeah, he's got these powers, and he gets recruited by this government lab agency to help to, and this is where the girl Kate works, and he's
Mm-hmm.
basically him and other people can go into dreams and help people in their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But um, it's interesting because the first scene is a guy dreaming and having a dream, and it's actually, you realize it's the president of the United States. So there's
Yeah.
like this whole other sort of espionage thing. Now, my favorite part, I mean, there's a lot of tacky lines. There's a lot of like scenes that happen. And I was like, what? What was that?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And then, sorry, but the best part of the dream sequences for sure. Like,
Yeah. Well,
when he's
and
going in.
and like right off the bat in the credits, because I was expecting this to be cheesy, funny, whatever. And then I was like, oh shit, Dennis Quaid's in this. And I was like, okay. And then um the special effects, the guy who did all the special effects is Peter Curran, who did all of the original trilogy Star Wars movies. He did like The Thing and did like the motion capture, or not motion capture. He did like the miniature stuff in all the original Star Wars movies. He's a super effects supervisor for like RoboCop, Beetlejuice, Critters, Nightmare on Elm Street, Gremlins, like any 80s, 90s, up until 80s, 90s, or 2000s movie where there's any form of special effects, he was the one doing it essentially, or
Right.
overseeing. And it, so like later, oh yeah, he did all the for Ghostbusters, like Star Trek, Final Frontier, RoboCop,
Wow.
Twilight Zone,
It's
Conan the
interesting though, because
Barbarian.
there's definitely a lot of different sort of FX, special effects
Mhm.
techniques in this too, right? Like
Just
even
the
towards the
opening
end.
scene,
Yeah.
the
Even
lady.
towards the end, there's even stop motion there too, right?
Yeah, yeah, which aged okay.
Yeah.
It's not the best stop motion miniature stuff I've
No.
seen. It was pretty.
No.
It's pretty funny, but it
Yeah.
kind of
But
worked.
yeah, but it's funny though. So when he goes into dreams and he's going into different people's dreams, they're
Mhm.
all like these different sort of setups, right? And like the first
Yeah.
one is like there's a guy on a roof or something, and he's got to save him.
Mhm.
But that was like his first taste of it. So Dennis Quaid comes out. He's like, "Oh, it's so great! It's so great!" And
Yeah.
I found the next one where he goes with the guy who's his wife's cheating on him.
Oh yeah.
That that was just strange.
Yeah.
And they go into this room, and there's all these people in there watching his wife have sex with his brother. You're
Yeah.
not my brother,
Yeah.
wasn't
And then, oh, my golf buddies, some golf buddies you are. They're all under the
it?
bed, and then
Under the
the
bed, yeah,
priest
yeah.
is there, and he's like, "Oh, our Father." He's like, "Stop it! I'm
It's
Jewish." Like, there's a
this is
lot of
their
funny bits.
yeah. There's that's their throw in to try to comedy all the time. But
Yeah.
yeah. Then then he discovers the guy you're talking about from the Warriors. He's kind of like the villain because
Yeah.
he's been kind of hired to go into dreams and kill people.
Yeah.
And anyways, sort of giving it all away. But that's kind of how the plot. Like in some of my, again, like I was saying before, some of the scenes are just like so. There's not like Elvin's sort of mentioned here. There wasn't a lot of action.
Mhm.
There isn't, but
No,
there's
I think he was referring to,
oh
um,
still talking to show about Shogun.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, there isn't actually in Dreamscape. It's not
No.
tons of action, but the action is still pretty funny too. Like there's a scene where he stops the guy on the motorcycle, and
Oh
the guy
yeah.
like just wipes out for no reason, and he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, yeah, I'm okay, okay." And then he takes his motorcycle,
Steals his bike. Yeah.
and then at the end of that, or he's on another scene when he has the bike and he's going around like the racing track or whatever.
Mm.
He flies into the room. There just happens to be massive bales of hay,
Yeah.
perfectly set up for him to crash.
There's horses, sure, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. There's definitely some scenes that aren't supposed to be funny, but are definitely
Yeah.
funny for sure.
And it was interesting that like it took a while for this movie to get weird, which like for the first half, it's mostly just like talking and walking scenes. And then the second half of the movie and like the end of it is like weird dreamscapes. You don't know. There's so many like, oh, they're actually in a dream. Oh, they're actually in another dream. And like, I mean, the premise is Dennis Quaid gets hired to. Actually, I don't even know why he got hired because they already had a guy who was there, and then there's a plot to kill the president. So, like, why was Dennis Quaid hired?
I don't know. Maybe maybe the main scientist there just wanted him because he knew how good he was at it. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, no, because he wasn't trying to kill the president. It was the other guy.
Tom and the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you knew it was coming too, right? It's like, okay, here's the bad guy killing people in the dreams. Here's the good guy helping people in the dreams. So
yeah,
it's like,
and for some reason we got introduced to the president, so they're probably going to try and kill him.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, so this is going to end with an all-out battle, and that's definitely like the last dream where he fights the bad guy in the dream. It doesn't even fight; he just run away from him. That's where I found it got. That's where it got really, really weird. Like, horror-ish for a while. And like I said, the stop motion, he turns into the big snake guy.
Yeah.
And then he turns into obviously we're giving away this movie, but I don't think people really care. So the bad guy.
But if you do, you can watch it all on YouTube right now because that's where I watched it.
It's also on Tubi too, which is free.
Oh, nice.
So you can watch it. You can watch this for free. But the backstory to the villain is that he actually was a serial killer and killed his dad.
Oh yeah.
And I actually thought that they should have figured this out earlier, or Dennis Quaid's character should have figured out when you're in a dream, you can manipulate things. You can like they kind of do in this Inception. But he figures that out, and then he turns into Tommy's dad. And then there's that whole scene like, Dad, and then the president kills him from behind. And then they actually ended the movie almost like Inception because him and the girl are on that train.
Yeah.
And the guy comes in to take the tickets, and it's the same guy from their dream, and they're like, "Oh my God, are they dreaming?" You know, which you knew they were gonna do, anyways. But yeah, it's what, as cheesy as these movies are that we watch, and a lot of bad narration, bad dialogue, bad special effects. This was actually pretty enjoyable. I actually enjoyed this one a lot.
Yeah.
It was fun. There's definitely I had to bring up this other scene which really confused me. Do you remember Dennis Quaid pulls the gun on the guy and he's trying to get information from him,
right?
And the guy was about to tell him everything, and then he smacks him on the head.
Smacks him. Yeah.
He said like halfway through, okay, so if you just go down here, no, I don't want to know now.
Yeah, and then he's like, why'd you do that? And he's like, he told me what I needed to know.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. No, it was cool to see like that Inception definitely took some notes from this because borderline is the exact same storyline. They just it
is true.
Wrote it more.
Yeah. It's funny though that we talk about these movies from I think the movie last week was also from 1984, and I know we had so I'm just pulling up something here.
Spinal Tap.
1984 was a crazy good movie.
Indiana Jones, Terminator, Starman, Star Trek 3, Conan, Top Secret, Dreamscape,
I think
Cannonball Run.
Most of these movies.
Warrior and the Sorceress. I don't know what that is, but it looks ass.
We're getting some ideas from some new ones.
Yo, yeah, David Carradine's in it.
Like it's crazy to think like Dreamscape and Warriors of the Wasteland was made in the same year as like Ghostbusters, Temple
and
of Doom.
Dune.
Yeah. Spinal Tap, Gremlins, Beverly Hills Cop,
Police Academy,
Karate Kid, Never Ending Story,
Up the Creek. Wow. Yeah.
16 Candles.
Jeez, yeah, 1984. I don't know what happened in 83. Oh, Runaway. Tom Selleck.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys in the chat know a better year than 1984 for movies, let us know, because right now, Starman. Yeah, so let's just give another quick recap. Other than Dreamscape, which we just talked about, this is the movies that came out in 1984. Sorry, I just lost it. So there is Terminator, Amadeus, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, Ghostbusters, Nightmare on Elm Street. This is Spinal Tap, Gremlins, Beverly Hills Cop, Karate Kid, Never Ending Story, 16 Candles, The Killing Fields, that was great, Police Academy, Romancing the Stone, Dune, Top Secret, The Natural, oh my God, Star Trek 3, Search for Spock, Starman, wow, Footloose, Repo Man, I love Repo Man, Revenge of the Nerds, just goes on and on. Last Starfighter, Passage to India, wow, Red Dawn,
Hard Bodies, Red Dawn, yeah.
Yeah. The Muppets Take Manhattan.
What?
Splash.
Hot Dog.
Oh my God. Wow, what a good year.
What Anyways. Is it because of 1984, like the book, where they were just like, "This is the year. This is when the world ends. We just got to put it out."
Do you remember Bachelor Party? Tom Hanks.
No.
You ever seen that? Anyways, that's a good one. That was 1984 too. Okay, so Kiwi's saying 1994. I think we looked this up before, but let's look.
Oh yeah, 94 had I think we definitely
decided. So here we go. Okay, this is pretty good. So people in the chat, do you like 1984 or 1994? Here's 94. Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, Ed Wood, The Professional, Hoop Dreams, The Last Seduction, Wolf, Natural Born Killers, Forrest Gump, Quiz Show, The Lion King, Clerks, Body Snatchers, Speed, True Lies, Dumb and Dumber, Interview with the Vampire, Clear and Present Danger, Reality Bites, Four Weddings and a Funeral, The Ref, Star Trek Generations, Hudsucker Proxy, The Client. Now it's getting into a bunch of ones that are The River Wild. It's a pretty good list.
I think 84.
The Crow, Time Cop, The Mask.
Time Cop, yeah.
Yes, Time Cop. Naked Gun, 33 and a Third.
Oh.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Ooh.
It's getting up there. Yeah. No, I still got to go with 84.
Yeah.
Maybe 84 is that was a good year, though. 1994 is a good year for sure. But
wait, does that mean that this year, 2024, is going to be another hit of great movies?
Well, let's take that to the next level. Let's see what
Dune, Ghostbusters. So we're back in 84.
Yeah, it's true. Well, let's look at 2004. What do we have there? Let's see if this trend keeps going. If I can find it.
We got The Village. We got Man on Fire, 51st Dates, Mr. 3000.
Avatar,
The Mechanist or The Machinist.
Machinist, yeah.
Dawn of the Dead.
Aviator, Polar Express.
iRobot. Team America, Anchorman. Crash, The Affair, Secret Window, Mean Girls, Sleepover, Collateral, Butterfly Effect, Lady Killers, Ocean's 12.
Wow, it's a pretty good year.
Aviator, Shaun of the Dead, Harold Kumar, White Castle.
White Chicks.
White Chicks, yeah.
Classic.
Dodgeball, Shark Tale.
It's pretty good.
I think we might have Troy, Life Aquatic, Napoleon Dynamite, Kung Fu Hustle, Cellular, The Terminal, Phantom of the Opera. Okay, shit. We might have
figured something out. Good. Okay, so let's look at 2014. This will be the last time. So we got
Metallica, some kind of monster.
Nice. Okay, so we're gonna jump to 2014. Captain America: Winter Soldier was great.
Yep.
X-Men: Days of Future Past. Good. Edge of Tomorrow. Sorry.
Yep.
Edge of Tomorrow. Tom Hanks. That was good.
Yep.
The original Guardians of the Galaxy, The Hobbit, Battle of Five Armies, the Lego Movie, Birdman with Michael Keaton. That was really good. Nightcrawler. Yep. Oh, the Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. That was really good. American Sniper, Transformers: Age of Extinction, 300, Interstellar. That was good. Maleficent, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Kingsman, Secret Service, Big Hero 6. Oh, I love that movie. The original Godzilla, or the Godzilla that's in this Monsterverse, 22 Jump Street.
It was good.
Maze Runner, Fault in Our Stars, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Ooh.
Theory of Everything. Imitation Game. That was a good one. That's pretty good too. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's really showing us that. Oh, Expendables 3.
Oh, good. Yep.
The remake of RoboCop.
Oh yeah, Terry Crews is amazing in everything. Him as the president in Idiocracy, the best. Just elect that character right now. And for 2024, we got
so far.
We got Mean Girls again. Terry Crews. No, wait, that's White Chicks. Never mind. We got Mean Girls again. Whatever. We got Damsel. We got Argyle. We got The Beekeeper. We got Roadhouse. We got nothing. So far, not great.
So far, not great. Let's hope the rest. We know we got Deadpool coming, but
yeah, we haven't hit the summer movie blockbuster yet. Maybe all of those, bitchin' movies came out during the summer.
Yeah, so we know that every 10 years, when there's a 4 in it, it's a good movie year. So let's see what the rest of this year's going. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you get a chance or not, check out Dreamscape. It's a fun movie.
It is. It was fun.
Again, there's a lot of it throws us back to like, are they actually reading from? Was there a script, or are they just kind of making up stuff, as they go? And you're right. The first half is a lot of walking around and a lot of stuff, but once they get into the dreams, that's when the fun happens. Let's say that. Yeah.
It was a little bit of a commitment, but it pays off, and you do get some wacky stuff.
I mean, the good thing about these 80s movies is they're not long. That was like an hour and 35 minutes or something, but
it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah. So since we spoke last, a bunch of new trailers have come out. We're not going to go watch these trailers because I don't know what you've seen and what you haven't seen, but some of them are pretty. Some of them got me hyped. There is one somebody had mentioned in the chat before about Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I think it was Hartstead. Speaking of which, who played the girl from Benny and June? Is she still doing things? Yeah, she was in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah. Mary, or what's her name?
Mary Masterson or whatever. Yeah.
I can't remember. I can look it up. There was a Beetlejuice trailer that came out.
Yep.
Here's the interesting thing about Beetlejuice. It's like, it's again one of those movies that they're trying to bring back for a sequel and stuff. But the good thing is, it's like, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder. These people are still all doing projects. It's not like, it's not like he's asking people to come out of retirement or anything. Tim Burton, because they're all like, Michael Keaton was just in Flash and he's doing lots of stuff. Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder in Stranger Things. And I saw someone say this, that it doesn't matter actually how old Michael Keaton is, because Beetlejuice is just all makeup, right?
Yeah, I mean, Michael Keaton looks like he hit 30 and he hit like 40, and he just looks the exact same.
He's got the Paul Rudd genes.
Yeah,
he's got. Yeah, and of course, Tim Burton directing, and he's got Jenna Ortega, right? Which he directed in what was that show? Wednesday. So
Wednesday.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Mary Stuart Masterson. Yeah, that's her from Benny and June. Um, Other trailers that came out. There was one yesterday for Bad Boys 4. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I saw the original Bad Boys. I've not
Yep.
seen the other ones since then.
Bad Boys 2 is the best one. I think
Yeah.
that's colloquially known or accepted. Bad Boys 2 is the better one.
Okay.
Um yeah, he doesn't he found what's who's he married to again? She was in Harry Potter and stuff.
Um, Sorry, who are you talking about?
Tim Burton's wife.
Oh yeah. Helen Bonham Carter.
Yes. Jenna Ortega is the new her.
Yes, for sure.
Anything dark and brooding, yeah, she's in it. Same with
Yeah.
like Aubrey Plaza. Oh, and then there was the Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, I actually wanted to bring this up. Uh, so um, this is for Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Acolyte. So what I don't know if you, I'm sure you saw this, but just let me share this for a second. I love this poster. I think it's so good. Except it looks
Yep.
like someone sharded. But anyways,
Yeah.
no,
Have you seen the
I like,
memes?
yeah,
Okay.
I did, which I thought was hilarious for sure.
There's a
But I
lot of
do like
memes.
this. I do like this poster. And when they first announced this, which it feels like so long ago they announced this,
Mm-hmm.
I liked the idea of it,
Yep.
obviously, the Sith point of view. I
Mm-hmm.
like this poster. I found the trailer to be
Lackluster,
feeling like
yeah.
the same stuff we've been watching,
Yeah.
basically, to this point. I wanted something dark. I still we haven't seen it, so we can't really say. Who
Yeah.
knows? But I wanted something really dark
Yeah.
and cinematic. And
Yeah.
so far, the trailer just looks like it looks like it's takes from Ahsoka, like they shot stuff from Ahsoka and they just put it in there. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm feeling so far.
Well, and the trailer, I don't know who it's for because it doesn't give you any plot or story or anything. It's just like a bunch of random scenes. And if they're just grabbing the coolest looking things, then I'm not super confident about the choreography and the fight scenes because I'm just like, well, if that's the best one, that's not good. And they didn't for people who don't know what it's about and don't know that it's 100 years before anything that we've seen in the prequel trilogy or anything like that. They're just going to be confused because they won't know when things are happening, or yeah, it'll just be confusing for people who don't know, just for regular people. And then for diehard fans, you didn't show us anything. You were just like, Trinity's in it.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But usually when they put a known actor in it, it takes away from it. And I don't know. I'm trepidatious about. I think it'll be. I think it'll be perfectly just like, it's fine.
Yeah. Which is what they're putting out these days, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know Elvin, what you're saying, even knew accolade. You didn't know how to spell accolade, but anyways, of course it's going to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But
It's Disney.
It is, but here's the thing, like, and we talked about this a million times. Shouldn't they learn? Shouldn't they be like, because again, I already looked it up. It's 8 episodes, 30 minutes each. So
Yep.
again, the episodes are 25 minutes or
Yeah.
22 minutes or something. And, when you think back to all the Star Wars shows we've discussed so far, except for, and again, I know Elvin doesn't like Andor, but Andor's felt cinematic to me.
Yeah.
Like we've just been talking about Shogun, House of the Dragon, Last of Us. These are all really cinematic TV shows, and Andor was on that level, but
yeah,
none of the other ones really I felt were. I don't know. Again, we've talked about the volume and stuff. I don't know how much they're using the volume here for the Acolyte, but
yeah.
to me it was just I don't know. I had this sense that I'm just watching the same stuff again.
Well, and I think for Andor, it's because they didn't use the volume, so the sense of scale was absolutely there. And with Ahsoka, everything was just in a small hallway or in a cabin or in a room or in a ship. And then Obi-Wan, the same thing. And yeah, there was no sense of scale. And with this, we're not going to get dark. We're going to get, it's not even going to be a point. It's going to be, oh, well, from a certain point of view, the Sith are good. Like, it's going to be that where we go, oh, they weren't all bad, and then Yoda's gonna show up and fuck something up, and then we're gonna blame him because he's the only one canonically that makes sense to be alive, and they have to throw in the key jingling for people who don't know that this is 100 years ago. They're gonna show a young Yoda, and that's what they're gonna. Yeah, I don't have high hopes.
Yeah. Even though I didn't care for Andor, it was filled with a gym.
It wasn't filled with the agenda. Yeah. You did say something nice about Andor. That's the first time.
Not in person though. You have to do it by
Oh yeah.
Remember I used to do this and I get like.
Oh yeah. What happened to the AI thing? Thumbs up.
I don't know.
No,
but
okay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like, it's again, you can't really talk about it until we actually see it. But again, it's just not doing it for me at all. And again, when we talk about the volume, there's certain, like in Andor when climbing cliffs and stuff, and they did do that in Mandalorian. I remember in season 2 when they first introduced Boba Fett comes back and he gets all his gear on. Like that was all shot on mountains, on cliff. You can tell because it's what I don't think they figured out so far with the volume is because it's a flat floor.
Yeah.
And they can have stuff in the background that looks like it's mountains and rocks and stuff, but actually where the Mandalorian's walking or Ahsoka's walking, it's almost like, okay, I can tell this is the volume because they're just walking.
They're walking, on a soundstage.
Flat surface. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It'll be fine. I have no hopes for. I'm excited for Andor, but that's not out for another year. So
yeah.
This is coming out, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, there might be a couple cool things, but I'm not gonna be giving Disney money for it.
Yeah, you know what? It threw me off right away we see like younglings learning, and I'm like, well, I've seen this. Like, why am I watching? Did these guys turning into Siths? I don't know. It could be, but I don't care. Like, anyway.
Yeah, like it didn't show anything for us to care about. It was just like, Carrie Ann Fisher, is that her name?
Yeah.
Trinity's in it, and there were a couple like cool or better than what we've seen in the past couple of years fight scenes. So like it looked like Carrie Ann Fisher or Moore or what? Who's Carrie Ann Moore? I don't know. Anyway, Trinity brought her stunt coordinator or
Julianne Moore. That's who you're thinking about.
Julianne Moore. And he said, "Close your eyes," but
that's right.
One of the kids didn't have eyelids. Yeah. Teacher's getting canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so like there were a couple scenes where it was like, oh, that's neat. But the rest I was just like, okay, why do I care about this? Why do I care about this? Nothing. Okay. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Also the fact that they haven't shown anything up until like a month before it comes out, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. When this comes out in June. I think.
Yeah. No, it comes out next month.
Does it? Okay.
Oh wait, go back to the poster.
No,
June 4th. You're right.
Yeah, June 4th. still. So that means they're gonna, obviously drop a bigger trailer, I guess, before then,
Sure.
before then. But who knows? There was also, did you see there was an Alien trailer?
I did.
Alien Romulus. So this actually, I didn't know this. This happens between the first two movies,
Yeah.
doing Alien and Alien 2. So it
Like
looks great.
while Ripley is
I think
in
it looks good.
cryosleep.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if it's this. Remember, like they go to find the crew that's missing. Is this the crew from from the second movie? Yeah. Sorry, going back to Eldon here. He's saying, why don't they drop it on May 4th?
Because they're stupid. they'll put out a long trailer and a deep dive on it probably.
Well, so what they're doing, I had it in our news notes, is they're returning all the movies, or the Skywalker 9 movies, to the theater, plus some sort of sneak acolyte.
I'm excited to see episode 1 in the theater again.
Yeah, that's the main reason, right? Because it's the 25th anniversary.
That I'm excited to do, because that was the first movie I saw in theaters and blew my mind.
Yeah, that was it's definitely the one Star Wars movie that I've seen the most in the theaters. I think it's 6 or 7 times, probably. Just to go back to see the pod race and
hell yeah, and
Duel
of the Fates.
Yeah, that was it. Those are the ones I wanted.
Dude, when in that scene, when the doors open up, everyone in the theater is gonna lose their goddamn mind.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so good, and especially now when they have such just like the oral assault that is movie theater speakers right now. It's gonna be so pissing loud, and I'm excited.
Well, yeah, because even like the pod race, that's one of the best audio edited.
Yeah,
like the sound they do in that is just amazing. Yeah, I saw that on midnight when it came out, opening night. I remember lining up and getting tickets to see it. And it's funny because I remember leaving the theater and just thinking about those two scenes and not really thinking about anything else that happened.
No.
And even when when I watch it now, or eventually showed it to my kids when they're old enough. I mean, actually, the pod race was one of the first Star Wars scenes I ever showed my kids, because they were into like cars and Hot Wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, I can show them the pod race.
Well, I was 10, so I was like the perfect age for that. And I remember rewatching that last fight scene in slow motion when I bought it on like DVD later. Just like it was just the coolest thing I'd seen on TV.
Yeah. It's still, it's funny. I often think of this, because people always bash the prequels and stuff, and it's mainly just like the dialogue and stuff like that. But I always often think, like, because now people really bash the sequels, did the sequels make the prequels better? You know what I mean?
I think people started coming around to them before the dumpster fire that was the sequel trilogy came out. I think the jokes were still like Jar Jar still is annoying, but he was written as that, and but then it went too far. Yeah, so like I think people came around to it before that, but then that just solidified and been like, I mean, it's a little Stockholm syndrome, I guess, where it's just like, you know what, maybe that wasn't so bad. And
yeah, I mean, it definitely when I think of when I saw that they're bringing all of them back into the theater, I was thinking like, okay, so I've never actually seen Empire. I don't think I've ever seen Empire in a theater. I saw definitely A New Hope and Return of the Jedi and the other ones for sure. But I was trying to think, there's no way I could sit through 9 movies. But I was trying to think, what would I go watch? And definitely Phantom Menace, because it's 25th anniversary. And then I was like, would I, if I had to pick like, not 3, but let's say if I had to pick 5 of the 9, I would definitely go with Phantom Menace, the 3, New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, and then I'd still probably pick Force Awakens, because I still kind of like Force Awakens. it was, you know,
but
it was
over
nice.
Attack of the Clones, because that long ass battle scene, like with all the clones and stuff, like that'd be really cool in theaters too.
True. Yeah.
And there's only like
it's
3 scenes in
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of overall as a movie, but even Revenge of the Sith too, right? There's a lot of good stuff in
There
there
is.
too. So I don't know. It's tough. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably just gonna go see Phantom Menace and that's it. Just for those two things alone, Darth Maul and pod racing.
Yeah. Yeah, Attack of the Clones is sick.
Yeah, you know, they all have definitely like I still remember showing that to my kids, and my kids always wanted to fast forward through anything with Anakin and Padme, like that whole like love, you know, them getting to know each other. They're always like, fast forward this, let's get to Obi-Wan versus Django, let's get to this battle, that battle. Yeah.
There's just I miss Star Wars.
True. Miss Star Wars. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing Alien Romulus. I think that comes out in the summer.
That's a TV series, yeah?
Is it a series? I thought it was a movie. I'd have to look that up. Give me a second. Let me look that up.
Oh no, it's a movie. I thought there was going to be an Alien TV show.
I thought so too, actually. I don't know what happened to that.
It's being done by FX. Timothy Oliphant's in it.
Oh, all right.
It's a prequel. Hold on. I don't know. It might exist. That's Alex. Oh, we get the kid from Andor. Nemec. He's in it.
Oh yeah. Nice. So is this going to come out before the movie?
I don't know. It doesn't say anything about a release date. It says upcoming. Yeah, it's made by FX, so it's a
good sign.
Currently in development, that's all it says.
Okay. It's got to come out. It'll probably be after.
It has to come out. You're right, Chris. It has to exist.
It does have to come out. You're right. Well, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't come out. So
that's true.
You know,
and a lot of stuff that shouldn't.
Yes, definitely. Did you hear? Well, we talked about this before, but they are making new Jurassic World movies, and Scarlett Johansson is supposedly going to be in one.
Is she going to be a Velociraptor?
Let's hope so. No, I mean that's all she's just in talks to be in one. But my thought is that this is actually how they have to continue on, is because the dinosaurs are not that interesting anymore, right? They were interesting years ago, but they're just kind of. I mean, they just haven't done anything. Yes, they've introduced new dinosaurs and not new dinosaurs, but new species and stuff like that. But I guess they actually have introduced new dinosaurs because with genetic testing and blah blah blah. So my thought is for this, you know, because the last one, Dominion, wasn't very good and people didn't like it. So for this franchise to move on, it's like, okay, we need to bring in some bigger names.
Well, or I think they need to go back to the horror aspect, because the first movie was scary as shit. And like those Velociraptors, it was like a slasher film or like an alien film almost, where it was like, don't breathe too loud or they're just going to find you and kill you. And even the scene with like the cage, when they lower the cow and it rips it up, like the noises, like everything was terrifying. And now they're funny, like piss off. Like Chris Pratt is being sassy and has pets. No,
he's
stupid.
training them. Yeah, for sure. You're right, because that was Spielberg, right? And he did what he did with Jaws. He just took he took everyone's fears and put in the sound and stuff.
Well, and it wasn't a kids movie. Like that was when you're older, you can watch this kind of thing, because it was like fucking terrifying.
Yeah, for sure.
So if they get Scarlett Johansson
to like, if she gets killed, like they'll pull like a scream and kill her in the first scene.
Oh
Maybe that's
yeah, but
maybe the
yeah,
good
I
thing.
think if they kind of go back to their horror movie roots, and then they'll be great. But yeah, nobody gives a shit about dinosaurs because
Yeah.
we got robot dinosaur movies now. Like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. So does that mean Pratt is out? It's. I think he's done. Like I don't think he's coming back. I think they're gonna. Here's again my thought. If they bring Scarlett in, then they're gonna try to bring another big name in, and then that's
Mhm.
what people are gonna want to go see because it's Scarlett Johansson and so and they've
Sam
never been in the
Jackson,
movie.
get him back in
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Because that's what they need to do to save this sort of franchise. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll have to see. But also, what disappointed me with the last movie was I think they had built it up like, okay, the dinosaurs are actually living among people now, right? Like they're
right.
with the population. So how does that work? And they didn't really touch on that so much. It was just
No,
like people are getting on with their lives. Like, you got to think about if that really happened, like, yeah, you and I would be doing this podcast like this because we'd be like, okay, I got my doors locked, like, because there's raptors everywhere.
yeah.
Like you couldn't do anything.
ScarJo gets often Jurassic. Oh, bringing her back as like half dinosaur. We know what parts they should keep human. So it's just gonna be a Velociraptor with just great personality.
Yeah.
I watched that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jared Leto never messed up an iconic character.
Okay.
Okay.
You talking about the Joker? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So I don't know. Like if they're gonna make this Jurassic World or whatever it's called, like really show how I don't know, like how would you kind of like the Planet of the Apes movies, right? Like
Yeah.
the apes took over the planet, and then and the humans were almost extinct, but like that's kind of what would happen, basically.
Well,
I would think.
they keep going the wrong direction because it was like, all right, we got Jurassic Park, now we got Jurassic World, now we got Jurassic Universe, and it's like,
Yeah,
no,
they're gonna.
we don't want bigger, we want smaller, cramped,
Yes,
claustrophobic, scary.
yes. What do they get? Yeah, they get put on. No, they sneak onto a shuttle, and
Yeah,
it's just Alien.
that's what the first one was. It
Yeah,
was Alien, but they put it in an amusement park, and like it was them like, oh no, here's the consequences of my actions. We're bringing back some of the most ferocious predators in the history of Earth, and oh
hmm
weird, it went awry.
yeah,
But now it's
exactly.
like, oh no, we learned from our mistake, and then it's like,
Yeah,
oh, it goes bad again. But it's too well lit. It's yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Raptors on a plane. Get Sam Jackson. Put Raptors on a
Get
plane.
these mother raptors off this mother. Yes, that would be
Yo,
good. That would be good. Yeah. I mean, they got to just start making it like what were those movies with the tornadoes and the Sharknado.
Sharknado.
They gotta they gotta be stuff like that. They just gotta make it
What
really,
was the
really
movie with the tornado and the shark?
yeah.
Your brain was just like, it can't be named that. That's stupid.
Well, that's obviously how they came up with the name, right? So it's tornadoes and it's a sharks and a tornado, so let's call it Sharknado.
Yeah.
But maybe they should be watching these 80s movies that we review and say,
Yeah.
let's bring that back. Let's
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Anyways. So I am going to see a movie this weekend.
Oh, is
Uh
it Dune?
uh no, I've seen Dune. I'd see Dune
Oh,
again. And it's not
yeah.
Ghostbusters, but my son really wants to go see Godzilla and Kong.
Ah,
So um here's the thing, and this is exactly what we talked about uh, before that because there's been some reviews. It hasn't come out yet, but some people, um, whatever the critics have gone. So let me just share
oh, it's
some.
not
And this
under
is
embargo. That's a good
no,
sign.
that's a good sign. So yeah, let me just share this, and we can read some of these. So
Okay.
it's a noisy Titan brawl with hardly any human heart to engage us on an emotional level. But audience coming for the fights alone are getting a supremely awesome tag team match between Godzilla and Kong and Scar King and Shimo.
Wasn't
So
that our complaint with the Godzilla TV show? It's like, I don't give a shit about the people. Well, yeah, Monarch. It's like, I don't give a shit about the people. Show me monster fights. And this is just them being like, all right, you want monster fights? We gave him a Thanos glove.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is you're right. Exactly. People are like, and this is why they've moved the date up. This is why they've pushed this and pushed this, because they're like,
they deleted all the people scenes and we're just like, more monster fights.
It's basically, I mean, the way this, and a lot of these reviews are exactly the same, saying no, not a lot of human, just fights. This is basically a wrestling match. It's a tag team wrestling match between these four guys. Like, it'd be almost great if there was a bell and an actual ring,
like, and then a crowd just chanting, "Holy shit! Holy shit!"
And there's like King Kong has the belts. Okay, this is for the world championship.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it, because a lot of people are saying the same thing, that it's just like it's a ton of fun, and there's not a lot of story, but I think that's what people are looking for.
Great.
Yeah.
I now might go see this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do a pay-per-view event.
Yeah. 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 The next guy's saying tons of wild kaiju action, a brutal villain for Kong. Yeah, they're all just saying the same stuff.
Sick.
New Empire's most enjoyable it's the most enjoyable MonsterVerse movie yet.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. And no one's talking anything about Godzilla running, because we know that he runs in it. But
yeah. Oh, and doesn't Kong ride him?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
They become if they do like a tag team, if they do some sort of wrestling tag team move, that'd be great.
Yeah. Or like Godzilla. Oh, Godzilla does the whatever blast, but then Kong's Thanos glove is impervious to it, so then he uses it to blast himself forward and punch something.
They actually did that in the last movie, though, because King Kong had that axe, and he shot the blue fire, and it lit up the axe. So I'm sure they, whatever. People don't
care.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go check out that this weekend. Yeah, I don't know. Ghostbusters, I still kind of want to see it. People say, people say it's fun as well. A lot of people don't like it, but
how do you top the original ones? But
you don't.
Nobody's mad about it, well, from what I've been seeing. And a lot of the effects are really good. There's a lot of practical stuff, so it's and also what's his name? Was it Harold Ramis?
Yes.
So there's a scene with him in it.
Right.
And that's apparently really good. Or it's like a CG'd scene, but it's done well, where there's no dialogue, and it's a very good send-off.
Nice.
So
yeah. I don't know. I think people are just expecting too much, and you gotta take it for what it is. If it's fun, then you know what? It's fun.
Yeah, the first ones weren't a cinematic marvel. They were just a fun ghost hunting thing with a bunch of comedians.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, they're making Happy Gilmore too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it gonna
Adam Sandler needs more money?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Okay. I don't know.
Well, I wonder if they're going to, because Carl Weathers was in that.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Right.
Is he going to be old now? Adam
Is Adam Sandler? I don't know.
Yeah. Is it like a modern day?
The guy who played I don't know if you remember the movie. There was a guy, the professional golfer.
Shooter.
Shooter.
Gavin.
He's coming back.
Okay.
He's going to be in it for sure. People were joking that Tiger Woods should be Carl Weathers' kid or something in it.
Okay.
That might be funny.
Yeah.
Remember that? Because I forget what the character's name was, but he died in that first one.
Oh yeah, the alligator finished him off, and they only had his hand.
Yes. Something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really into that. Just looking something up.
Well, actually, it might be. It's probably he just came out with a movie that was a really sad one, because it seems like every 4 or 5 movies, it's like oh yeah, this one will make you feel feelings, and now I'm gonna do 3 more just so I can get my friends some work, and I want to go spend a week in Hawaii or a month in Hawaii with my friends, and I want a studio to pay for it, which, like, no fault to them. Like,
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So yeah, I mean, I wonder if he's going to bring those. Maybe he'll bring those friends into this one. Who knows?
yeah,
Anyways,
we'll have
there's no
Paul Blart as his caddy.
yeah, yeah. There's no. I think Steve Buscemi was in that one. Anyways,
Yeah, he
I was
was.
just looking if there was an IMDb page for it, but there isn't. So IMDb, yeah. Yeah. What else is going on? Another Pirates of the Caribbean. Yay. Without Johnny Depp. I don't know about
He wasn't
that.
in the last one, right? Or is this the one that they were saying it isn't it with him?
This next one that they're making, they're calling it a reboot, and they're
Sure.
saying that he's not in it. I don't know. I don't know about that. Did you ever watch the TV show Euphoria?
A little bit, yeah.
So they're trying to do the third season,
Mm-hmm.
and this is kind of interesting, but they're saying it's delayed now. But people are kind of speculating because a couple of their stars are getting too big. Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
That yeah, so they just said that if they're not canceling the third season, they're just delaying it. But people are like, yeah, it's because you can't afford those two anymore.
Well, that was a Netflix. Oh no, it was HBO. I don't think that would be an issue for HBO, because the same thing would have happened with Game of Thrones, and Euphoria was huge.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well,
Game of Thrones went for like 8 seasons. So.
Right. Yeah, you got to figure that it does. I mean, it doesn't happen to shows, but it could happen to what is Sweeney is
definitely.
Yes,
is what he's saying.
Yes, yeah. It's definitely happened to movie franchises, right? Where like it just actually just happened with Scream, and we were talking about Jenna Ortega. She's not in the next Scream because she asked for too much.
Yeah. They're like, we can do it without you, and then they're like, wait, no, we can't. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, now they've had to bring back Neve Campbell and stuff. So, anyways, but yeah, it definitely happens to movie franchises that people just get too big. So one last thing, we talked about this before, is this new TV show, The Penguin. So this is the spin-off from the Batman, and it's got Colin Farrell as the Penguin, which he was great in that.
So good.
Couldn't recognize him. Plus, he was good. He actually came out to say that this crime show is going to be really, really dark. Like, I'm obviously, he's in it and stuff like that. But I think this is what it should be, right? Like, people were often saying, did you ever watch Gotham, the TV show Gotham?
A bit, yeah.
Okay.
Watched how many seasons did that go for? It went for 5 seasons. I think I watched 2 seasons.
Right.
But yeah, Cameron Monaghan as the Joker. He was great.
Right.
The young Bruce Wayne, he was a dick, but he was intentionally. Yeah, no, it was really good. And that was an Apple thing too, actually.
Right. I never saw it, but I did see some people say that they wanted it more of a crime drama, which maybe this might be more along the lines like a, whatever, a Scorsese, Goodfellas sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, I hope so, because I'm wondering if it's going to lead into the next Batman movie as well.
When's that one, or is that even slated?
I think I don't know if it's slated. It's a good question. It's not for a few years, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They probably could even get a couple seasons of this Penguin in beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if Colin Farrell, it's just going to be really, really good.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that's all the stuff I had to chat about. But next week we're gonna mix things up a bit. Like we said at the beginning of the show, Elvin, I think you're gonna be back with us, and we are gonna be moving to Thursday nights. We'll put out some notices next Wednesday in case people are watching this in the replay or gonna watch next Wednesday. So April 4th, we're moving to Thursday nights at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, starting next Thursday. So we will not be on Wednesdays anymore.
No.
And we'll probably be back in studio next Thursday. Yes. Elvin who?
Next Thursday, hit the like button, hit the YouTube buttons.
Hit all the buttons at the same time.
Yeah, all of them. Mash your forehead against the iPad because you're all iPad babies. And that's okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, like Justin said, like, comments. Thanks for coming. If you've seen some bad 80s movies or some good 80s movies, let us know. We want to talk about more. Check out all of our content. And yeah, thanks for coming in and giving us all your feedback, guys. And join us next Thursday.
Yep. Oh, and I think tomorrow or no, Friday.
Streaming?
Yeah, Friday I'm going to play some video games. Tune in to find out.
Tune in to find out what Justin's playing on Friday. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.